Danny Lightning here, and this is video number 1 of my brand new tuning playlist. I'm remaking a bunch of these tuning videos with updated versions. We're going to start off with video number 1, which is this one: how to tune your car to make it cross the finish line as quickly as possible. And at the end of this video, I'll make sure the entire playlist pops up on the screen. To fully understand how this works, make sure you watch the entire video, because if you miss a couple of bits and pieces of the info in this video, this isn't going to make sense to you and you're not going to be able to tune the car correctly. So watch the entire thing. You need to know everything in here for this to work properly. There will be upcoming tuning videos on this playlist for speed traps, sprint races, live racing, you name it. We're going to put it on here, but this is video number 1. How to tune your car to cross the finish line as quickly as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is reset all 3 parts to stock. Make sure the transmission stock, the nitrous is stock, and the tires are stock. Anytime you start off, all 3 parts need to be stock. Now start with your nitrous, pull that thing all the way to the right. And now we're going to slowly move it a couple ticks, a couple ticks, a couple ticks. And we're going to do this until we get all the way over to the left. And watch the little Evo points number up here. What we want to do is take note and find the highest amount of Evo points that this slider is going to give us, right? So make sure you go all the way from the right to the left, because some cars are tricky and will try to trick you, and you'll find high spots, then low spots, then high spots, and low spots. Now for this particular car, all the way to the right gave me the most, which gave me plus 722. After you tune the nitrous and you find the high spot, write that down on a piece of paper. And now we're going to reset it, and we're going to do the same thing for the final drive. Pull the final drive all the way to the right. Now we're going to slowly move it a little bit until we find the number that gives us the highest Evo points. And you want to make sure you go through the entire bar, because like I said, some of these parts are very tricky and they will try to trick you. Now on this car, moving it to the left is giving me more and more and more Evo. On some cars you might be over here, some cars you could be here. So you got to try the entire bar, guys. I can't emphasize that enough. But on this particular car, once I get all the way to the left, it gives me 2076, which is way more Evo points than the nitrous gave me. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this part back to stock. And now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pull the tires all the way to the right. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. Move it a little bit, move it a little bit, move it a little bit. And you're going to want to go slower than this. I'm just giving you a quick demonstration because it takes a couple of minutes to find each part. I'm just going to move it until I find the highest amount of Evo points for the tires, which is 763. So on this particular car, the nitrous gave me the least amount of Evo points. The final drive gave me the most. So I'm going to tune the final drive first. I'm going to tune the nitrous last. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the car. Make sure all 3 parts are reset. So on this car, like I said, the final drive gave me the most Evo. So I'm going to go ahead and retune this thing. And I already know it was down here. So we're just going to go ahead and set this down here. Now the tires gave me the second highest amount of Evo. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the tires. And once you tune one part, it may change the way the other part needs to be tuned. So you have to redo the whole process again for each one of these parts. Now, eventually, I'm just going to slowly go down until I hit the highest amount of Evo on the tires. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and do this on the nitrous. So on this car, there we go. 2148. Is that the best? 47, 46, 45. So I'm telling you, you got to be very careful and slowly do this. Every car is different. And every time I change parts, guys, I don't care if it's 2 green fusion parts. I reset all 3 of these and do this whole process over again. So tune the part that gives you the highest Evo first. Tune the part that gives you the least Evo last. Do that for every single car. And unless the car is weird, that is going to work out great. When you're finished tuning, you want to see this little Evo point number become as high as possible. Now, a decent tier 4 or tier 5 car will normally have over 1,000 Evo points when you're finished with your tune, and the really good ones might have 2,000 or 3,000. If it's under 800 Evo points, I usually don't really go for those cars, because when you're winning live races with a car with under 1,000 Evo points, you're going to earn less respect points. So I like to shoot for 1,000 plus on the Evo if I'm live racing. There are some tier 5 cars in the game where the max is going to be 600 Evo, and those are lousy cars. Now, 95% of the cars in the game respond very well to this tuning method. There are a few weird ones that do not. So if you use this tuning method, this is going to get you to a great starting point. This is going to be a tune that's about 95% perfect. You can always sit there and tweak it. Once you find the highest Evo, you can always tweak it just a little bit and maybe squeeze another 1/10 of a second out of the car. But this is the quickest way to get 95% of the way to the perfect best tune every single time. Now, for example, the BMW M4 G82 CLS, this is one of those weird cars where you get the most Evo for having the tires all the way to the right. So there are cars out there that have weird tunes. Final Drive is over here. A lot of cars, it's over here. So every single car is different. This is why I say you got to check all the way from the left to the right on all these bars, because every car in the game is very different. Now that you know how to tune a car to cross the finish line as quickly as possible, stop copying other people's tunes, because if your parts are not exactly the same as that other person's, their tune's probably not going to work for your car. For example, like I said, if you're just changing 2 or 3 parts, changing a couple of fusion parts can change the way the car needs to be tuned. So don't copy other people's tunes, guys, if your parts don't match theirs. Just use this tuning method and it'll get you where you need to be almost every single time. And remember, reset all 3 parts and start from scratch every time you need to tune the car again. I don't care if you only changed 1 fusion part. Best results are going to be to reset and start from scratch. If you watch one of my videos about how to drive and tune different cars, those will get you to a very good starting place. Those will give you a great idea of how the car needs to be tuned on stage 5 or stage 6. But if your parts don't match those, this is the method you want to use. So if you use this tuning method correctly, and as long as you're not tuning one of those really weird cars that don't respond properly to this, like I said, 95% of the cars do, you're going to have very fast, very good performing cars that cross the finish line as quickly as possible. I hope you found this tuning guide helpful. Huge thank you to all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, check out the join button right down there below the video. If you're wondering what equipment I use to make my videos, that's all tagged on the video. Just click the little shopping tab that pops up when you're watching the video and you can see all that stuff, plus a bunch of other stuff I would recommend for content creation. I appreciate each and every one of you guys a lot. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe watch one of these videos or playlists that's about to pop up on the screen right about now. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. Lightning out. See ya. Have an awesome day, and thank you so much for watching.